Are live. We are live
Ah,
on.
we are live. Hello,
Yeah.
everyone.
Can we get some W's in the chat, please?
Let's go.
We are live on Kick, TikTok, and Twitter. We got a couple hundred people watching right now here to talk about Anon and what you're
Oh,
building
yeah.
in that ecosystem. So I guess to jump right in, maybe we can do like a high level overview of what you're building, what the possibilities are, and what's
Yeah.
coming next for the project.
Well, I want to start to saying what today for DeFi. The one with
DeFi.
the AI. I'm kind of almost hijacking DeFi because it sounds the same. But let's say that it was a fucking epic day of DeFi. We just now announced that Aerodrome has officially launched Anon on their platform. That means that we're gonna try to get some juicy gauges so we can get the yield going for our farmers friends and expanding our presence on Base. Then we have got all sort of tweets. If you saw today, we have Stacks BTC, obviously looking to integrate. We have been talking with also all chains, everyone. Like we working super hard to get it everywhere, right? HeyAnon, and then we will talk about that too. Then, of course, we got the DWF, Messari, which I think it's a great thing because it's starting to track actually the market cap of our new primitive DeFi. Then we actually released the first interesting tweet from Gemma. If you comment on that tweet, there will be interesting things coming. Then we have been covered all across. As you can see, it was fucking great. We had the Kava tweeting, Arbitrum tweeting, CoinMarketCap added the DeFi as a new category. Like, what a day, man. What a
Everyone's
day.
hopping on board the DeFi train. I even asked you on Twitter, man. I was like, I see the word, but how the fuck do I pronounce this? I like DeFi.
DeFi. DeFi.
DeFi. It's very
Yeah.
simple. It's got a nice ring to it. One of the most
Done.
compelling things when we were talking privately was you'd stuck with me. You said, I make the narratives. And I think that is true. We are seeing this trend, like you said, CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap added categories for DeFi. All of these major in all these major networks are starting to hop on board, like you said, Arbitrum, or you announced that collaboration with Aether. The momentum is
Base.
picking up significantly in terms of the integration with AI agents and crypto. That's been the hot topic over the past couple of months. These AI devs are entering the space, they're super cracked and taking the space to the next level. And obviously, DeFi is a major opportunity to employ that technology. And so, I guess, could you run me through the thought process of how you came
Oh,
up with this
Maya.
project?
So my point of view is that the AI meta is a little bit too crowded. I felt like what we are doing with AI and DeFi required his own space and highlight rather than being to put together with fart coins and Cerebro and other meme coins that is not very clear what is their utility, which is fine. Like I'm a proponent of meme coins, like I like them, but I felt like we could advance this whole industry in terms of what is the capability and the interaction of artificial intelligence with decentralized finance in the specifics. So I wanted to write this article that then got picked up all across. That is like, how do you define this new category? Like, what is in this category, right? And basically, I wrote it about what I'm building, right? But it's obviously extends beyond because I'm not the only one building it. Like there is other projects that are doing similar things in different ways. Other things that still are in this whole spectrum. And I find it super interesting that it really sparked this interest And I feel like we really deserve the highlight of being a whole category, because I think that by the end of 2025 will be very clear that actually DeFi is the abstraction layer of blockchain. And this is what we are really building in many ways, in many forms, in many different phases, right? But at the end, what we really want to achieve is that dream of abstracting the chains through an interface that is capable of really executing anything what you want in a very simple way, right?
Right.
The most natural way.
Because at least when I talk to my friends that aren't crypto native, and it's like, okay, so you start with Ethereum, and then you're gonna have to bridge to this other network, and then you're gonna have to swap and stake. There's so many pain points and there's so many pitfalls for new people in crypto that offering some kind of agent as a service immediately removes so many different pitfalls from the technical level
Friction.
of friction. Exactly. It removes so much friction from the point of, okay, which protocols do I use? How do I actually bridge? How do I actually stake? And it even removes the possibility of getting scammed and using those nefarious protocols.
Absolutely. And I tell you more. Like, obviously, I have friends that have nothing to do with crypto, or very little bit. Like, they have maybe like some Bitcoins, like some Ethereum. Maybe they even have MetaMask. But the reality of things is that obviously I say to my friend, like, yo, I'm launching something new on Sonic, for example. Like, what is the chance that they're gonna actually make it all the way? Like, if I don't buy it for them, it's super hard. Like, I realize that for me it's simple, but it's not. Like, I've been around for I don't even know how many years at this point, 10. like it's obvious that it's very, very easy for me to know how to add an RPC on MetaMask, figure out how to bridge, do all this kind of stuff, know that I need gas. You know how many people get stuck on chains because they don't have gas, and then they need to beg to their friends, like, oh, can you send me a little bit, like $1 of that coin?
Please,
Like,
sir, please.
it's the worst. How many times it happened to you that you sent that little $1? Like, you said, come here, buy this coin or whatever. They bridge, you tell them everything, and then they're stuck with like a USDC on Avalanche. Like, and they're like, now what do I do? Why I can't swap? And it doesn't work. And this is the most basic stuff. Like, obviously, like, if you look at, and we will discuss it, maybe advanced functionality, but already what we are talking about, it's massive. Like, I can post crazy things about multi-chain operations, borrowing, lending, looping, going to BSC, going to Base, all the way to whatever, Arbitrium, super fast transaction, make an LP, take it out, borrow it. Like, we can do all of that, but the reality of things is that by the end of January, you can send a fucking link to someone, and you say, just register here and write this thing, buy this on this chain, and then thank me later. Okay? And that's fucking cool. That's the future. That is how we really bring people to do things on chain. Because the reality, obviously, pump fun, all this kind of stuff, Solana, I need to give it to the interface of Solana, that in my opinion is Phantom Wallet. It's great. Like, the ecosystem has worked so much to be all in one, in which it makes it super easy to do one transaction. Like, realistically, 99% of all users of blockchain technology are simply buying some coin, man. Like, if you think about it, right? They're just buying some coin. Some want to buy a meme coin, some want to buy some other coin, some others want to do. That doesn't mean that there shouldn't be all the rest, but the point is that they only buy a coin because it's the lowest barrier of entry. Everything else requires too much effort. And as everything requires too much effort, we can't get that 99% of existing user to try to use the protocols that exist already and the fantastic stuff and technology that there is already in DeFi, already on any chain. Like it's incredible. And if you think about it, before we even transition, all the people that don't even own a coin, to our own systems, we need to allow everybody that already owns a coin, which is the lower level of entry for us to bring, to participate more, advance their portfolio, make their portfolio work. Like I give you an example that I was discussing yesterday. Like, how many people would like to be able to create an LP on Meteora? Do you use Solana, right?
Yes, I'm quite
Yes.
active on
So
Solana.
okay. So imagine if you could make an LP on Meteora that is single-sided. Okay, that's already very difficult. In which it sells like a DCA out. Okay, between I don't know 210 sol to 220 sol, and in the meantime, while sol is chopping into that LP, you're actually even earning money. So instead of you get paid. This is the type of stuff that I want to introduce first. Like, these are the things that are useful to people, because the trader start to see a new mentality. Like, you can't change the ideas of people, like right away say, you should be LPing. It doesn't mean, like, it's impossible. Okay, if they want to buy, sell, fair enough. But what if I show you that there is decentralized finance in which you can earn while doing the actions that you want to perform? And how do you do it? It's impossible, dude. Try to make it. I needed a fucking PhD almost to just deploy the Radium LP on fucking Radium. Can you imagine? Like, I read the documentation and then I'm like, guys, like, this doesn't make any sense. And it's fucking like 6 years that I do optimization of V3 market making on decentralized exchanges in the most fucking high level possible. I had the Popsicle Finance at its peak, managed $450 million of V3 positions on Uniswap, and it took me 1 hour to make an LP on Radium. Like this is fucking nuts. Like, I'm like, guys, I'm like, what the fuck? Thanks God, we figured it out. Like, the fucking Anon is gonna do it for me next time, because I don't want to even it would start to talk. Let's not even talk about Meteora, because it's what I just said. Like, Radium already V2 style position, not even V3. Come on. Like, if we start trying to make V3 positions, you should be DWF. I don't even think they can. Like, on all honesty, like, it's you need to be the most focused person in the world trying to make these bots working on this order book stuff. And it reminds me why I said to Sam Bankfried in 2000 and 2020, when he showed me Radium and Solana at the beginning. I remember that I was like, dude, you do it. Like, ULP for me. Like, I was like, I will buy your fucking coin at $2 or whatever. Like, like, I believe in you, dude. But honestly, this thing is fucking hard, and it still is. So thanks God, we are building this abstraction layer, which will make it simple. Like, I wish that actually Griffin AI, I think it's called, right? Griffin, that is the similar of Anon on Solana, would allow you to do this already. But I think that they didn't implement the same logic steps that we implement through strict tooling. So I think that the logic hops to be able to do it is multiple transactions and quite a complex logic. So only with strict tooling you can ensure the quality of that transaction. So I think that's the reason why they're not implementing. But I am sure that they, as soon as we show our things, and they understand and read all our things, and they listen to all this podcast, I'm sure they will be able to update and they will understand why we use strict tooling. And I hope that our path forward advances all of this. Like, I am not scared of competition. I want to see people making more than one wallet. Like imagine a world where there wouldn't be Rabbi and MetaMask and Phantom, and like you want to have a lot of user interfaces that fundamentally will be able to do the similar things in different logic or different UIs or different places, right? But I want this industry to advance because through marketing, all these different protocols will onboard and will bring all these users into this kind of logical steps. Like yesterday, I was trolling a little bit, but not really, like, and I was saying like, there is one thing that everybody wants on Solana, that is like, I want to make it so hard, but everybody just sniper bots and they launch and they dump and they buy before everybody else and they fuck the bonding curve. You know how it is. It's real. Like it's how it is.
The
It's the
trenches.
name of the game. It's the real trenches. But imagine if for as cheap as just taking $100 of a good coin, you get access to something that can do all the things that all these devs, because can we call them devs really? Like like
Very,
all
very
these
loose word
devs,
these days.
very loose. You understand? Like dev. Oh, I have balloons. You saw that? Let me see.
That was
Does
pretty
it work
slick.
again? No, it didn't work again. Well, the all these devs have these great tools. No, they just have like a bunch of people that manually do it. Like there is no great plan here there. Or they
I
have a few little bots. So we are gonna democratize all this shit, and I think it's a little bit like the dawn of that era of being scammed so hard.
What I really liked about what you just said, like the mutual competition is going to push the whole space forward because there is a huge ocean ahead of us, and it's really about growing the ocean rather than trying to like solo advance it yourself. Like you said, Griffin is probably going to learn from what you've done in terms of strict tooling to make their product better. It's just going to grow DeFi as a whole
Absolutely.
to push everything forward.
But this is why I wanted to create a category and not a word for me. Like I want to push. I feel like with the push that I did more marketing to Griffin AI that anybody else has ever did.
Yeah,
Like
I
for
would agree.
absolutely for free. And it doesn't matter because if we advance all together through the same destination, and the same is with Wayfinder, like if we all go through the same goal, which is actually is not like what is I want to go back a little bit here. The problem is that a lot of actors in this space are here exclusively for the fast gain. Okay, so this is the truth of almost every business. It's normal, right? And speculative business, especially in finance, especially. But the common good in some actors in this space is where things get pushed really forward. And for me, the common good is real. Like, I did so many things in the past, and I never had the opportunity to actually abstract all of this. Like with Magic Internet Money, the number one thing that we were doing was was the first asset to be ubiquitous on cross chain movement of money. At the time, USDC, all this kind of USDT was very hard to bridge, very hard to do. Instead, Magic Internet Money allowed Arbitrum, for example, at the beginning, and that's why we still have a great relationship with them, to kickstart their economy entirely when the chain started. Avalanche, like at the peak of Avalanche price, that was maybe 130, 140, the number one pair trading for AVAX was Magic Internet Money. And the reason was that it was free to bridge across all chains. Phantom was the same. On Curve was the most traded asset with the FTM at the time. so all these things are tools to improve user experience, right? Like, and when you improve user experience, you have the Amazon effect. Like the biggest thing that Amazon has done was the pay with Amazon button. Like before, it was super hard to pay something with a credit card online. They made it simple. And as you shrink the user experience into the most easy and immediate, fast, instant almost, then is where there is the maximum gain for everybody. Because then I feel like DeFi for me means the resonance of decentralized finance. Because finally we have one interface to rule them all. And it doesn't matter anymore if it says if you are in this country, whatever. No, we enact everything through smart contracts. There is no need in the future potentially on any interface to any smart contract that is not AI. I think you feel me, right?
Yeah,
Like
100%.
everything should be almost like global interfaces that have different features, maybe in terms of also aesthetics. Why not? Like, don't you agree? Like somebody might like the green background matrix style of Wayfinder, you know. Other might like the Griffin AI. Others might prefer our things because it has both Telegram and the web, you know. Like another might prefer an iOS application or an Android, you know. But the core element is how do we make the highway to make sure that when I ask, oh, I want to LP Ethereum with USDC, where should I do it? You get it instantly. Like, you know what to do, you know how to act because the interface tells you. Like, and it's a source of truth, right?
Exactly. Like the DeFi landscape is so broad. You have apps and networks, and by consolidating it into one toolkit, you're making it more accessible to everyone, which is value generative at its very core.
Absolutely. It's the first time that I can say this. Like in my entire time, I was there basically doing tool by tool to try to do it. You understand me? Like I was there like, okay, we have a fucking problem with bridging. We need to make sure that everybody know that bridging with this asset is the best way to do it. How do I make sure that I mint as many of these assets as possible to serve any market? Okay, I invented basically CDPs with yield bearing tokens. So all this kind of stuff is what accelerate. But now there is a lot, but it's confusing. It's even worse, honestly. May I say it's worse than before?
I would
It's
agree,
worse.
especially because a lot of networks don't communicate. Like
Yeah,
trying to move Solidity native stuff in an EVM network to Solana, it is
it's
beyond
awful.
most people's skill set. It is beyond most people's
Dude,
comprehension.
it took me a week more. What, 10 days to get out the fucking thing on Dex Tools that says only today, like a few hours ago, came out the thing that the token is not safe. You know, that was those red things on Dex Screener.
I think it still
Uh,
says it on some of the pools for Dex tools even.
on yeah, like I'm mind blown how the screener doesn't know how layer 0 works. Is the number one protocol for basically minting tokens that are multi-chain.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you agree? But honestly, nobody knows because there
I
is
have the Dex
fucking a
screener.
thousand bridges.
I
I'm
have the Dex
tired of a
screener
thousand
pulled
bridges.
up right now.
Yeah,
It says FDV of 25 million,
yeah,
circulating
there you
market
go.
cap
Like
of
I'm like,
143 million, and it's mintable. And I was trying
yeah,
to explain
yeah,
this to my
see.
community. I'm like, yo, the token's not mintable. It's layer 0. They fucked it up. This shit is way more complex than you could ever imagine.
Like but now you know what is funny. So I need to send, and the last thing that we got over, like the screener said, yeah, you need to send to the mint, right? Which we can't mint anything, you understand? Like we can't mint fucking anything to 0x00, because that way we don't need to modify our API, and it will disappear, and we can just click and it will disappear. And I'm like, okay, sure guys, but come on, it's 2025. How long this shit has been around? And why nobody's doing tokens like this? Because you make it friction. Like it's mind blowing to some people that you can bridge through like through Stargate a token from Base to Solana. Yes, you can. Like right now, we are doing it with millions of worth of transactions every day. Market makers are doing it. Arbitrage bots are doing it. Like it's crazy. But this is the future that I envision, and fucking hell, like it's worse than before. But finally, we have this new tool that actually allows you to put it all together, which re-excites me, because I finally don't need to build the fucking 20 protocols to try to solve this problem and 70 million to 69 tokens.
Is this the
Yeah.
most excited you've felt about something you're building in terms of what you've built so far and the potential it has?
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, absolutely. Because I've been always a consumer person, like consumer facing products person. And I'm so excited about this, and especially the synergy that that Anon has with the entire of decentralized finance, and also other products that I have, like wagme.com, for example. Because at the end of the day, I feel like I always had this concept of the Thanos gauntlet, like the
The
thing, like
the gauntlet. You got your
gauntlet, yeah.
stones.
Yeah, the stones, right? Like to rule them all. And the concept is that what you really need is a tool, and that's why I was saying in this day, like give people a good tool that can do everything, what you need in a very simple way, so you democratize access, and then give everybody a chance to make it. And that's a little bit what I was gonna drop some alpha on,
If you kind of
like
compare
what
your
is gonna
last
be the chance.
projects, it's like give
Yeah,
a man a fish
I
or
can I
teach him
can
how to
I actually,
fish.
yeah,
Is it
I
time?
think I think it's I I don't think that people are gonna learn how to fish only if they are sure that they're gonna catch some fish. Because if there is a lake without fish, they're not gonna learn fishing. This is my kind of opinion. So you gotta
Ah.
do both of them. You know, like you can teach them. Oh, this is how casting. By the way, I'm a crazy fisherman. I traveled the world, including Yemen. I went Papua New Guinea. Like I'm a crazy fisherman to go fishing.
Is
So
that your
uh,
favorite hobby?
yeah, definitely, definitely, and shit coins.
And shit
But
coins.
yeah, but but a part of that, like I don't know how it's possible that I feel so comfortable. I would never buy a watch for like $100,000, but I would buy the most fucking idiotic cat coin, dude. Like, and I don't even close my, like. It's just normal. Like it's ridiculous.
Bro,
Like
it's the
it's
same. Like
absolutely nuts.
you
Like
spend a
I don't know
couple
why.
$1,000s on a shit coin, it's like, oh, whatever. If I get the money back, it's fine. Bro, I lose $100 bill in real life. My day is
No,
ruined.
no, it's over. Like
It's
you break
over.
it or something, like you're done. Like it's absolutely real. The pain is real. Like
Yeah.
it's
It's
what
very
it is.
different when it's numbers on a screen versus like physical property. That
But that's
dissociation
why I
is
think
very bad in
NFT
crypto.
NFT had this moment because of this reason. Like it felt almost like number go up, but it's not real. I don't know how to explain it, but it was that moment in which it's like, well, anyway, like, yeah, I'm gonna pay a picture of an ape $500,000. You know,
Yeah.
like that was a
And I
pretty
could
crazy
download it and
moment.
use it as my profile picture.
Yeah, yeah, right. Like I'm like, I sold some of those apes well, but I'm like, if I look at it in retrospect, it's definitely something crazy. But if we were talking about fishing, and I think it's open. It's if you don't mind, I would like to open a little bit of a chapter and an elephant in the room with Wonderland, that I think it's good to resurface, because it
Let's hear it.
connects to the reason, reconnects to the reason why I'm around, and also to the reason why I posted the article about decentralized autonomous organizations and artificial intelligence and agents, on how this can advance the industry specifically in that terms. And I had and I was running the largest DAO ever existed, right? So there has never been Science Wonderland a larger DAO with any larger community with any more funds that we had at the time. And I feel like it's really important to touch base there.
Yeah, let's do it. For the
Because
record,
I'm
I was a first 1,000 holder of Time Wonderland. I was
oh, nice.
from the ride. I held it top to bottom or bottom to top to bottom. I saw
Well,
the
you
vision.
exited. Well, if you held from the beginning, then you exited at the value, so you probably didn't lose any money, right?
I did well, and then I re-entered when Wrapped Memo came out.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about it a little bit. I think that it will make sense to you why I'm back
Let's do
right
it.
away
Let's peel back the
as we
layers.
touch base. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think it's important because as I go more and more public, like I'm like I didn't, and I want to say here, like when people say like rag, what did I rag exactly? Like that's kind of like the point that I want to make here. But especially I want to make sure that people know that my ideals and what I have said before applies even harder right now. That's why I'm so excited for my revenge arc. You know, like I felt like what happened to Wonderland. It was such a moment in which we had the infrastructure, we had all the protocols to basically finally detach completely from the venture capital and suits era. And we had the capital to be able to do investments on ourselves and invest in our own community projects. We had the magic internet money and CDP and leverage and cross-chain action in which we could have moved the funds quickly and faster. And we had LPing through Popsicle Finance. So we had instant basically farms across all over to generate the maximum yield. And we were touching sushi, if you remember. There was a voting, and we were going to take control also of Sushi Swap, which was the exchange that we didn't have, right? So I think that what happened there is that we accumulate too much power, and obviously I had only one point in which they could touch me. That was the fact that I maintain crypto ideals, which in which anonymity is an important point, and for the fact that Mr. Sifu was convicted when he was 19 years old for fraud. I didn't think, in all honesty, that was going to be as big as they made it seem. Because what happened there is that I had a team that, unfortunately, I felt hurt in my personal feeling of how I believe the ideals of crypto were, right? And the doxing wasn't something that I would have ever imagined. And my PR team at the time wasn't as efficient as I expected it would be to manage the situation. And our enemies and whoever it was against us spread the rumor that actually money was being stolen. You remember that?
The
Like
funds
that,
are with Sifu.
yeah,
Yeah.
right. That money was being stolen, but no money was stolen. Like that's the crazy thing, you know? And that triggered a chain of events of selling out that actually they hit our liquidation thresholds because obviously they are on chain, so you can see them very clearly, and they started triggering all these liquidations down the line with throwing the token even under the backing. You remember that? Like I spent 2 days, I remember, no sleep, just clicking the button on buying with the treasury because we had to maintain the wall, and it was obvious that I didn't want people to sell below what they could get just by unwinding the project. That was crazy to me, but still they were putting pressure on this thing. You
So
know?
you used a pretty specific word there. You said they wanted to take the project down.
Yeah,
Do you think there
I
was
think
other
we have been
DAOs?
targeted. No, I think we have been targeted for
Oh,
sure. we have been targeting in multiple ways. I would say that there is targeting of shorting things, because some of our tokens obviously were in, for example, in FTX perps and on Binance perps, etc. So there is a gain potential on doing something like this, obviously. And additionally, I felt like we have been targeted because of the amount of influence that we gained by having $1.2 billion of treasury as the largest DAO and give it really in the hands of the people, and having the largest DeFi protocol that was taking over MakerDAO with the circulation of the number one stablecoin that was across every chain at the time. Do you remember? And the largest protocol of liquidity provisioning of all Uniswap. We had pretty much 40% of the TVL of Uniswap.
I mean, the simple fact that you said you guys were going to buy SushiSwap, like that speaks volumes about the size you were moving in that era and the momentum that you had.
Yeah, and absolutely. Now I want to be very open because I'm back with my revenge out of all of this, and it's gonna be my arc on that side. And I tell you, if I had the tools that I have today before, there would have never been, ever, they could have ever be targeting me ever again. The reality is that, imagine this, if the people had Anon, they would have been able to not be liquidated because Anon would have called their positions and unwind them, for example, okay? Before liquidation. Second, treasury management wouldn't be done by Sifu.
You wouldn't have to stay up for 2 days smashing the buy.
I don't want to say that Sifu continued his career and is still around, and there is no criminality intent, I think, or after what he did when he was young, and he has been convicted, and people make mistakes. But obviously, that's why the article is talking also about Gemma, and what the power of Gemma can be is to scout the sentiment for a sentiment DAO agent that look at what people want in terms also of the investment collectiveness. It's possible that a decentralized autonomous organization has an investment collectiveness towards a meme coin, for example, right? And then Gemma will be targeting and researching and doing the job of understanding which coins can be or cannot be whatever is of interest of the collective. And you would have an agent manager that scouts the social media for sentiment through all the participants of the DAO and understands and reports to management or to the other agents how people feels about this investment and how maybe things can occur, and autonomously generate proposals on the forum. This is very real, man. Can you imagine? It's real. What I'm talking about, it's tomorrow, but tomorrow, not in 6 months. I'm talking about 2 months, away. And that's why in the architecture of what you will see by the end of this month in the release of Anon in the web, we have the multi-signature wallets. That is something that nobody else has done. In which we are starting to test the concept of having micro groups of people together with an agent. Okay, so imagine that me, you, G, that is my partner, a couple of your friends, we make a Telegram group. We add in the bot in the Telegram group, okay, the agent, Anon. And in this Telegram group, we have a multi-sign wallet in which is 3 out of 5, okay? And we say, okay, let's start researching investments. This is our thesis. And we send our thesis to Gemma. And we say, listen, we're scouting for only mid-size cap in decentralized finance on chains that are emerging, in where you can see that there has been TVL growth, specific type of transaction growth, wallet created activity. As activity grows, I would like a breakdown or whatever and comparison of other chain activity to the same type of decentralized exchange or GMX fork or Aave fork or whatever. And this is what I want. And the report kicks in. And then you say, okay, so we pick this exchange because we believe that this GMX fork is going to be successful because it had more volume, blah, blah, blah. It's growing in the last week. Compare this to last week, other fork of GMX on this other chain. Okay, boom. Okay, this is our investment thesis. Then, do we want to do it? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Then send it. Transaction. Let's buy $50,000 worth of this token in chunks over a DCA over 2 days. That makes sense, right? Then what happens is that the multi-signature wallet takes all the signature. You guys choose. It's all good. It's all good. Done. This is in 2 weeks.
2
Like
weeks.
just like I just
So
saying.
this is
Like
what Gemma is going to be, kind of like a virtual portfolio manager, a research analyst, portfolio manager, trade
yeah, it's your
execution.
research channel. Like obviously, like Gemma is rolling out. So in the two things, Gemma is the most expensive thing to run because we are collecting an enormous amount of data. And to make it at the top of Gemma capabilities, which I have a lot of imagination, you can imagine, you know me, like I'm a fucking crazy person, is gonna require some time. Like in my opinion, to get it to the most insane level of insights, like that really goes super deep, is gonna take like at least another 4 months to get it to just parse everything. Like because what you do is a backend job of actually collecting the data and prepare the data to be fed in a very good and understandable way to the LLM for searching inside.
Exactly. Like the
So
scope of what you're trying to do is huge because the data set available is pretty much infinite.
infinite and constant, also not infinite, like is a constant stream added to it. So at the beginning I choose a certain factors, and I will disclose more of these in the next like I can't disclose everything, if not it's not interesting, like but in the next days, as weeks come upon the launch, I will talk more and more about the architecture of what I feel like is signaling to me, and how you assess the signaling, and it's pretty interesting. And I talked a little bit about it yesterday, but in general, there is so much in the data section that we can do that no LLM has, and that's like really the point of where I feel like we have the edge to the others. Of course, the strict Turing approach is great, and we are still the only ones that can execute these complex transactions. Okay, like there is nobody that has shown it. Like I saw that Wayfinder takes a completely different approach and is similar, but it's really not the same. I saw others that do the browser-based type of situation in which it's basically like Claude, what
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, which is, come on, man, like it's cool, but I mean, it's not the future. Like moving your mouse autonomously, basically, like it's not, and it's not fast. But that's the point. Like I feel like as we progress with the technology, like infrastructure part of interaction is going to be more less and less valuable, and to the point in which even ourselves we say that we want to open it for integration to other agents. Like I want people to be able to use and integrate their own agents, may they be virtuals, AI 16Z, or whatever launching platform that might have, and give them the highway of Anon to be able to execute whatever they want across. But the real gem, right, is Gemma.
Gem. So
Right?
is Gemma the flywheel that you've been alluding to on
No,
Twitter? No.
no. We have a
Oh
lot
my
to cover,
god. I think you had chat fooled. They were
and
thinking
that's
this was
and
the
that's
third
why.
piece of the puzzle, man. You had me
No,
fooled.
no. And you see how this connects, right, to Wonderland and to what I always wanted to do, right? Like empowering people and collective to be able to do informed decisions, and really empowering them to do constructive, usage of and maximize the potential of investment and blockchain technology, like in all, like it's absolutely like the real killer application, honestly.
The way that I see it is because I was pretty critical of crypto and AI integration. If we were to look back 12 months or so, kind of talking about like Ocean Fetch, AGIX, it seemed like AI was
Mhm.
mostly just being used for marketing buzzwords, Fugazi, Fugazi, no
Yeah.
real value generation. But as we're in this AI agent meta currently, LLMs are cool, but agents are kind of taking the interaction to the third dimension.
Yes.
There
That's
is
what I'm thinking.
there's a deeper connection between how we interact with AI rather than, hey, I'm going to use ChatGPT to cheat on some school assignments, or I'm going to use
Well,
ChatGPT to come up with a
absolutely.
workout plan. Now we're starting to see the interaction between AI in a new dimension where it's able to interact with our reality rather than just suggest information for it to tell us.
Yeah, and also like the way that I see like XBT, for example, and other agents that post tickers on Twitter interact is that they live off of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like it's obvious that as an influencer you pump a token, but that doesn't mean that their own picks are good. I feel like in investment we have a long history, no? Like of banking and asset management and all of that, and nobody's portfolio is going to be the same of another. You know what I mean? Even in the same category, we're going to have different weights, different picks.
Exactly. So if,
And
if we both like Solana DeFi, I might be mostly Orca and you might be mostly Radium. There's always going to be
exactly.
that different personification of how you identify
And
the
how do
narrative.
you? And this is where I feel like we are really pushing the advancement here because it's the tailor made. I feel like the agent is the killer application because it's tailored to you. you know like if you want to sell an agent that is equal for everybody, it's not good. Like the agent as infrastructure or as a code, you know it can be the same for everybody, but the output must be different because you have a complete different idea. And connecting to Gemma needs to be able to understand you, right? And she will look through all your history, including the images, which is doing right now because we are doing the Gemma score. And it's taking even the images that you posted with tickers, recognizing the tickers, and checking every single move that you have done and cross-referencing with your portfolio to understand what do you like, why did you arrive to a certain conclusion that you wanted to buy this rather than that, and which of your plays have been winning for you and which ones have been losing. Like, was it because of conviction? Was it because of the market condition reference? Was it because of other situations that emerged? Was it because you decided to go into a picking another thing rather than waiting, or so on? And all that unstructured data that comes out of it, it's the other highway of intelligence. I call it the highway of intelligence. Okay. And this highway of intelligence is tailored to you. And as it grows, your speed grows because we live in a world, especially in cryptocurrency trading and investment and being on top of things, that in which velocity is your weapon. Like that's why you're so locked in fucking how many 69 million groups chats, like
Speed is money.
and speed is money, and you want to empower people with speed. And the speed infrastructure is expensive. And today we announced a partnership with Ether. You saw, and
Yep.
I want to say that as much as I can, I'm trying to gather support because we want to bring millions of users to this, and all these platforms obviously are seeking users. I can be the one providing the users, right? But as long as I can give this highway to people for very cheap, and then I can't be outcompeted. You understand? Like I'm gonna make sure that this old tooling is cheap, that the token economics sustains this, and I have a little bit of experience of how to make sure the token economics works. and 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 make sure that in this year that is upcoming, we are focused exclusively on changing the game, making sure that we onboard all of the people that already exist in the cryptocurrency space that want and are interesting on a little bit more, to give them access with just a very simple step, even to just try. Buy $100 worth of this token, put it in stake, you lose free, you try it, do you like it? Good, you don't like it, sell the token, fuck off. You know, like simple as that at the beginning. And then obviously we can't do millions of prompts. You would agree with me. Like
Right.
it needs to be
There is a cost.
like a wall. There is a wall of how much stuff you can do without paying some extra, right? And if you want to really access, and I'm thinking about the tiers now, because as things progress, I have a very high velocity also in the way that I think things. So I just build them and then I think, you know, like in the sense of economic part. In these cases, even more. But the idea is to have tiers in which obviously you saw in other normal applications also is the same. You want the pro, where you have more prompts. Fair enough, you can buy it with the Anon token and burn the Anon token, which I think is such a simple concept, but it's always good.
It's going to be burning and not deposit into the treasury.
Burn,
Baby,
burn.
Burn, baby,
Burn, baby,
So
burn.
there's going to be,
Always.
you spend the tokens to get access to the HeyAnon bot. And if you hold more tokens, are you going to get a better service?
No, so you stake the tokens,
Okay.
$100 worth of token, and you get access to the bot.
Right.
Okay, so it's everybody can. Well, not everybody, but
Most.
it's not a real. It's an investment, also potentially. You know, like you buy, you can always sell it, so you might not even lose any money if you don't like it in a 24 hours range, right? You would agree with me.
Yeah.
If there is enough liquidity, it's really you're not paying a lot. And if you want to access more features or more prompts, like more things that you want to do, like a longer conversations with Gem and stuff like this, you just need to pay monthly subscription.
Right. Okay.
And not expensive. Like I'm really thinking like something cheap, like on the lines of like GTP and stuff like this, like not a crazy price.
Very
Like it needs to
accessible
be
for retail investors.
Yeah, it needs to be. Like that's where the
That's where
people
the
need it
market
the
is.
most. But also, it's who really need it, no? Like the simplification, like why the whale might use it for very specific things. Okay, like for example, mass deactivation of things, or collection of dust, or things that are very tedious for a whale to do, and they might just use the bot for doing it. Okay, like. Approvals, like mass de-approval, stuff like that. Collection of dust across the 10 blockchains or whatever in safe tokens, and transfer into ETH or USDC. Okay, like these are the kind of things that I think the whales will use it the most. In terms of whales, I think that will be more of a decentralized autonomous organization, or just multi-signs using it as a very small congregation of people that have like-minded ideas of investment.
Right. That kind of group portfolio manager identity that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, I think it's super cool. Like it really enforces, like the execution enforces always clear path, action upon the most critical and fast action, retains your positions in balance, maintains very. It's really killer. Like honestly, for that type of application, and it's killer for the simple retail investor that just needs that a little bit more power and doesn't need to ask in 7 groups, how do I bridge USDC from Solana to Sonic?
Or begging your friends for dust.
Yeah.
I am the person that my friends message for dust when they're stuck on a chain. It's tiring, boss. It's tiring.
Well, I mean, nobody asked me, because then they're connected to my wallet.
Right.
Can
So
send you some dust if you want, but then if you sell, people are gonna panic.
I got a question here. So when you
Yeah,
launched
go ahead.
WogMe, it was on Kava. When you launched Anon, it was on Sonic. Do you have any quick thoughts on why you chose those two chains, and specifically why Sonic? Because personally, I'm a Sonic bull. I believe in the future that this chain has, but I'd love to hear your thoughts on it.
So we're going for the big announcement. No. So let's talk about Kava actually for a second, because I feel like they deserve a little bit more spotlight than ever. Um, First of all, being in contact with the Kava team from the beginning, I know that they've been cooking quite a lot of AI stuff, which is interesting. And it will very likely be an interesting play in the meta as a layer one. Also because I really like the idea that they are both a Cosmos ecosystem and EVM, which is pretty unique. When I launched WagMe there, I needed to test shit, like test in production type of situation. And the chain allowed me to push a little bit my boundaries because of the interaction, especially with the interaction of Cosmos, that it was a little bit out of my sphere of competence.
Right.
Last time that I did interact with other chains that were not EVM, I was with DAO1, right, with Terra and the UST that fortunately I decided to sell before it went down. I got a lot of drama actually at the time. Everybody was like, "Why you close the cauldron on Abracadabra? It's making a lot of money." But then turns out that
You
the
were right.
protocol still exists because of that. But it was interesting. What Kava was meaning. Like there is still not a lot of users, to be honest. But I could test my new GMI concept well. Also, they were very keen of helping us kickstarting this economy of GMI, and still to today we provide a very good decentralized exchange for them because the liquidity that we raise there is sticky. I don't know if you know anything about WAGMI, but if you have a little bit of time, we can go through a few key components
Yeah,
of
I'd love to
WAGMI.
hear.
Yeah. So the whole concept of WAGMI was the following. First of all, I'm not anymore a bull on rented liquidity. So I don't like rented liquidity. After 5 years that we have been working on optimization of liquidity provisioning, we really realized through the data that we finally could collect over such a long period of time that in reality liquidity is super inefficient, and TVL is not a metric that should matter. The metric that should matter should be volume and execution price compared to centralized exchanges, so spreads, right? And as more and more the trading routing passes through aggregators, the less important even more becomes the protocol with the deepest liquidity, because at the end of the day, people are going to trade through aggregators. No, they are going to buy through wallets that use aggregators, and the best execution is the thing that is going to be picked, so the volume goes through the best price possible. And as these things happen, it's obvious that we had an opportunity. The opportunity was with taking all the knowledge that we have to put it into the liquidity provisioning management and figure out a sustainable way or a sustainable concept in which we could raise the right amount of liquidity to be able to execute more than 50% of the volume in each chain where we deploy. And we started doing our calculation before revamping Popsicle Finance into wagme.com, and we realized that the average that we need it's about 150, 140 of the TVL that exist on certain chains, and that was mind-blowing,
So
because I'm
it's an
like, okay,
efficiency problem then.
yeah, and you're like, okay, so I don't need to raise 100 million to make 50% of the volume on Arbitrum. I need to raise 5. That start to be interesting, right? Like, and then I'm like, okay, then what do we have that other don't have? We have optimization. So we can potentially put the liquidity tick a little bit better than the others to make sure that we capture good flow rather than bad flow, because it's still passing through aggregators and bots, so we can actively manage that liquidity, just like a centralized market maker, but in a decentralized way, in which we capture the volume that is profitable for our LPers, but we drop all the volume that is actually bad, and we make it hit our competitors, right? And this was the idea. So then I'm like, okay, how do we raise this money? It's not so much, so we can do it, and we are proving this on Sonic right now. Look at the volumes of WAGMI. It's insane. Like, there is nobody expected it, because I fly under the radar, testing all my theories for one year, before starting to go full on war mode, General Danny,
Batman Revenge Arc.
yeah, revenge arc and stuff
You
like
got your
that,
Thanos gauntlet on.
yeah, exactly. And with GMI we just did that. So basically it's a similar to the bonding concept, right? Like, you give me something, I give you the you give me the LP, I give you the WAGMI token, and in the meantime you earn the APR that is created by the entire pool. When somebody exits after you earn his part of his share of the APR. So you constantly, by staying, you make more and more money of the fees that all those LPs make, and the rest of the 50% of that goes to burn WAGMI. Buys, and gives burn some and gives other to as WAGMI. So it's a super ultra flywheel. It's like the ultra Ponzinomic in a good way, Like,
Yeah.
the Ponzi master was back. The guys didn't realize what I was doing. Right now is doing something like 230% APR with just fees from trading, because of the efficiency of our pools, Like, and this shows you that we needed very little amount for owning pretty much all the volumes that the chain is going to make. Like, I don't expect the chain to make more than 3 times the volume that it's doing right now. And if it's going to do, we compensate with maybe 30% more liquidity.
Right, like you said, it's not about the TVL, it's about the volume and minimizing spread, i.e., just
Yeah.
providing the most efficient use of that TVL rather than just having a larger amount of capital.
Yeah, so that's correct. And also, like, having a team with our background and experience that can actually optimize it and show. Like, right now, there is not almost a single user on Metis and Kava, but still it's earning 50% APR, dude. And whoever put it before, it's earning up to 150% APR. Being directional WAGMI. They are 3x on WAGMI, earning 150% APR. I don't know if you realize this. Like, it's insane. That's why they sell out every time I open them, because the amount of people that realize this, it's enough to sell out all the liquidity requirement that we have to own a chain. And as we expand to different other chains, then we hit up the battleground. But this is not what I wanted to talk about in terms of like, what is the third thing that is
Yeah.
missing. Okay. But it does connect to all of this in a
Right.
way.
And
Yeah.
Sonic, we talked about it over our private messages, but you said
Yeah.
Phantom was the first place that you deployed. Sonic was coming out with upgraded infrastructure, sub-second finality, high throughput. And
Yeah.
so you chose, it was like a Lord of the Rings Return of the King moment coming back to your home chain.
Absolutely.
Did the developer incentives that Andre Cronje and the team at
What developer
Sonics,
incentives? I don't get even a retweet. What developer
the
incentives to me?
90%
Nobody.
revenue share for
Okay.
deployers,
No, the 90% revenue share for deployers, it's good.
It's
And
good. Was that a factor?
yeah,
Is
no,
that a portion of the third flywheel at all?
it is potentially a portion of the third flywheel, yes, but it's not like the determining factor. Actually, I had other chains bidding for the third components of the flywheel, so
They were
it didn't.
bidding.
I could, yeah, I didn't need to have a Sonic rebate me anything for deploying this new protocol. I could have made any chain pay me for deploying this protocol the same way.
Right. Okay. When you're the man around
So,
DeFi, they come to you.
well, I mean, it's all about what, like, the moment is volumes, right? User acquisition, interest, playability. We have seen it with Pump Fun, right? Like, what is the effect of actually bringing people to do something, an action every day? And this is what the people and chains want. Uh, my number one factor, apart that I have a great relationship with Andre Cronje, which I have a lot of love towards, and I feel like is underrated person in my opinion. Like he has way more to give than people think.
I agree.
And
I view him as like the grandfather of DeFi.
yeah, indeed, uh, it's also is also a very good leader of teams. I think he's a very inspiring person for his own teams, and that's where he can extract the maximum out of them. I think that's a great thing. I also think that Sonic is is the first home for me. And when you go to your first home, you always feel comfortable. And I always wanted in some way to give back something to the first community that has supported me in my first initial journey into this crazy world of crypto, you know. And obviously it was definitely a no-brainer. And there is something about run it all back again that is inside of me. And sometimes it makes me think like we are in a fucking simulation because some things happen again and again and again. Um, but obviously I'm very happy to be there. And I really appreciate the community that is still there using our products. And we are really now speeding it up. I think you saw. I'm speeding it up very, 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 very fast. Like I'm back at work in 20 plus hours a day. So this is a big factor on the reason why our protocols is starting to push. Uh, it's very cool. In all honesty, I'm very happy because it wasn't easy. Like there is a part of you that makes you, after what happened with Wonderland, etc., and how I felt about it. And we opened up a little bit on that, right? I it's I Some people ask me like, why you didn't just come back as a alt, you know,
Right.
like an anon or do something like that. And I'm like, no, like there is a part of me that still believe big time on what I wanted to achieve. And I've been seeking the tools and the strategy and the way in which I can gain it all back and more. And I feel like in this time I have much better tools. I've learned my lesson on being even more cautious. I try to put a tap on every mistake that I did before and find the technical and non-technical solutions for them beforehand. And the very big difference between Daniele this cycle and Daniele last cycle is that last cycle Daniele was reactive. I was reacting to what is happening. This cycle I'm proactive. So I planned stuff. I planned releases. I have stuff ready. and that's a big advantage. And also, it's less stressful for me. It can make me focus more on actually pushing harder rather than having to react upon Alameda trying to take down my meme pool and trying to depeg my coin, or Three Arrows Capital trying to fuck me up on Avalanche, and the one saying that Luna is gonna be fucking moon, boom, boom, pow, and his market cap of UST is gonna moon, and it's too much. And I told him something like you shouldn't be more than 50% or something like this. Is already pushing it, and what I can do, like I'm reacting to these markets on the in this time. I'm definitely not reacting.
Right.
Like
You're
I'm
you're you're
acting.
multiple steps ahead rather than dealing with the punches as they come.
Yeah, which honestly was the thing that got me caught, because in reality, like you can't always react well. Like you're still in a reaction, you're still emotional, very emotional, no matter what, you know like and especially if they touch you emotionally, it's difficult. Like you need to think. Sometimes you can't think, and also you're fucking tired, man. Like it was a year run, working 20 hours a day, no sleep, no Christmas, no fucking nothing, like just hammering, which I'm all for it. But in all honesty, like being always reactive has been the number one problem. And at the same time, always grinding to build more and more and more and more and more and more. This time I am with the partner that I carried all of this together since the beginning of everything, and we started with having nothing. You know, like he was in Ukraine doing some little stuff. I was with my half-broken BMW in Switzerland, and now we are here. And I really feel like the team also has upgraded and has been through the fire, and those kind of things harden you quite a lot. And I'm really ready for the next battle.
You feel like you've reached kind of your next evolution, your final form of where you are in your business development, your developer skills, and what you're able to bring to market.
Most definitely. Like also, I have lost a lot of weight, which I think it's also important in some way. Physical, like in Latin, they used to say that a good mind is in a healthy body,
Right. Health is
and
wealth.
yeah, and like mens sana in corpore sano, no? That's what the Latins used to say. And I feel like overall 360 degrees, uh, we are ready, and it's gonna be a fight, because you see, like I'm still not giving 1 cent to the VCs. I'm still doing the same fucking thing, like it's gonna be still a little bit uh, dodgy, because at the same time, when you give everything to the users, you are also in the emotion of the in the arms of the emotions of the user. So I know that my run is going to be over deliver, like not only promise but over deliver, meet expectation, and meet expectation even more than people can think, and always be at least a step ahead of what people think I am. Yeah.
I'm impressed. What else can I say? You're love. You said you were going to be transparent, but the way you've broken down the Time Wonderland series of events, the way you've talked about where you've been and where you're going, I think is very insightful for what is to come for HeyAnon.
I think so. Like I
It's
choose
character
this podcast.
development.
I choose this podcast to talk about this also because you lived the suffering of that moment, and I feel like I owned it also to you to talk about it. You know, like there is a moment in which you transcend, like as a general. Uh, you are supposed to win all the battles, but also you're supposed to win the entire war. You know, and and it's very hard because I've seen how much people talk about cults and cult leaders and all this kind of stuff, and it doesn't really apply to me, because in reality, what I do and what I say, I really want to. There is no, I think there is no project that shapes more the vision of where I'm going than my projects, because I really listen to the community constantly. Like, there is a lot that I'd rather change into my protocols to make sure, or develop, or make sure that I'm very agile in the market, to make sure to meet my token holders' needs, you know. And this is this, I think, is the superpower that our team brings, is that capacity of flexibility, because at the end, wag me, you know, like it's
Wag
really
me.
like that, like
That's it.
like it's,
That's it,
yeah, not
bro.
really,
Wag
like
me.
like honestly, like if you think about it, like really, it's like that. And that's why I bought it, because when I bought wagme.com, the idea was that if we were going to merge the protocols all together, and this nobody knows, I wanted to just make one single token called WAGME. So that's why I bought WAGME.com. It was super expensive even to buy, you can imagine.
A 5-letter
And
domain, a .com, those are expensive, bro.
it's crazy how they've. And honestly, like, is it really worth it? I don't know.
I think
Like,
it's worth it, bro. That's sick.
you think? You think?
Wagme.com?
Yeah.
That goes hard.
Well, like, like in my opinion, I like that. I always I don't know if you see, I always like to play with domains and names of things that kind of go together. I feel like I've been the first to make like a meme that is actually has utility with spell and magic internet money. I think it was kind of like the play there. I remember that I was telling my team, guys, put on CoinGecko and on CoinMarketCap the meme category, meme category for Magic Internet Money being a stable coin, you know, like that arrives to that $1 that everybody wants, you know, and
Yeah.
just grows in market cap without anybody understand. And a lot of people were looking at that, and we were at the top of the leaderboard as a meme, you know, like which was pretty funny. And I think that there is what I love about this whole industry is that not only you have multiple chances, and I feel like I owe it to everybody that gave me this chance to be here again, but additionally there is a layer of seriousness, but at the same time we try to keep it fun and engaging, because we are there all the time, guys. Like, we are really locked in. And if you can't have, like, that's why I appreciate the meme coins in some way. Like, how good it is that some people just say, ah, I bought this fucking shit coin there. Of, like, I still hold my LP on my account, in which I was LPing the pussy token with W it
It's a
with
memory.
W it, like with W it, so it was pussy wet token. So I still hold it, like, and I'm like, and it was one of the biggest printer of LP positions that I had. I remember when I was actually the biggest LPer of Flocky. Where is Flocky now? Is huge. And I remember when I saw this thing that was printing 10,000 APR, like, I'm literally the most degens of degens. And if I need to make a case on why you should follow Anon and use Anon, is that we know a lot of tricks on how, for example, to use a hot wallet without touching your funds, but use approves and things like that on DeFi applications, in which you don't need to put your Aave position on a hot wallet, but the hot wallet can trigger the rebalance or things like that, or exit the position for you by using approvals and all this stuff that other teams don't know. They haven't been in this industry so long. You know what I mean? Like, I know. Like, if there is something that I know, is how bad it feels when you get liquidated. Like that I can guarantee you. and how to interact with these contracts on a very deep level, because we have built so much, if you think about it, like, and really still building so much, and we have been interacting with every single protocol out there, and it hasn't changed. Like, there hasn't been so much innovation since then, if you think about it. Like, there is forks, there is things, but not really.
The core
Like,
is the
that's it.
same.
That's it. And once we nailed now the architecture, you have the beta of that, and is the build one. We have the build two. Some of the videos that I sent was the build two, but pretty much everything you have, you can do what I posted already, and you probably tried. The point is, like, once you have the core element of this highway structure with the logic implemented, then to add new protocols on every chain, because they are basically the forks of everything, it's very fast. So the acceleration is going to be quick now to integrate everything, which I'm very excited on. And I also showed everybody that it's very hard to outbuild us, because we don't have holidays. Like, I was alone on Sonic in Christmas time, and that's where we started gaining traction, like, we outbuilt everybody, like, and nobody expected. I remember I posted on the Sonic group with all the builders and stuff, like, guys, like, look, we are doing some volumes, etc. And it's like, we are not reposting anything because we are waiting for the Dex wars. And I'm like, guys, there is no Dex war. I'm there. Like, what Dex war is gonna be? You
It's
don't
me.
understand. Yeah, like, the reality is that by design, this application is made that if I arrive first, it's super hard for you. Already, if I arrive second, but if I arrive first, it's very, very hard for you to be able to compete on execution. Like, you're only gonna get the bad flow. I don't know if you know any of the terminology of market makers, but basically the bad flow is the one that is taking from you rather than giving. Rather than paying, is just taking the spread of arbitrage.
The first mover's advantage into that new network. It's sticky. I mean,
Yeah, but you only do it if you really push it. Like, you need to take advantage of every single moment that you can take advantage on, right? Like, I'm focused always on that. Like, for me, I want everything, for my holders, everything. Like, I own it to them. And yeah, talking about everything, want to talk about what's coming.
what are you cooking? What's the third piece of the flywheel? So let me do a little bit of a intro for the stream
Yeah,
here. So
yeah.
on X, the man, the myth, the legend, the multi-billion-dollar dev has been hinting. Give us maybe give us a little bit of a flex here. Has been hinting at the third piece of the flywheel that is going to connect HeyAnon with WAGMI in some kind of free-to-play game, if I am not mistaken, to generate yield for everyone. Was that?
Yep.
Can we get some W's in the chat? This is the big moment, the big reveal, the moment of truth. Get your popcorn. What are you cooking?
Yeah, so as I mentioned before, and I'm very excited about this, because this is really like the drop of the mic, in my opinion. Like, with Anon, we create the tool. With Apes.Win, we create the chance. And what is Apes.Win? Like, Apes.Win is a new platform. Doesn't have a token. Okay, I want to say it 3 million times. It's not launching a token.
No
Okay,
token, no
it's
token.
part of wagmi.com. Okay. and the idea, I can give you a little bit of context and background on why it arrived to the form that it is, so people will understand. The idea was like, okay, like, most of the trading volume that is created around now, especially on Solana, is to small caps, pump fund, pimp coins, because obviously the trenches, right? because obviously people have that upside there, and the hope that is gonna be something big. But at the same time, the reason why it's also good is that the barrier of entry is very low, right? I feel like people buy $10 or $30 worth of something, right? And that's what makes it unique, in my opinion. Micro cap, small cap, stuff like that. And there is this potential of making it out of it. So I'm like, okay, I need to think about something, because we have wagme.com, which means we all gonna make it. But I mean, are you gonna make it? You know, like on GMI means gonna make it, right? But not everybody can participate in GMI. It's not something for the small fish, for the small frog. So I just wrap my mind around, and I'm like, how can I make a launchpad for meme coins that doesn't require you to put any money up front, but still has the potential of making it? You understand what I mean? Like that's a very convoluted, like it's almost like a impossible problem to solve, you know? Like you're like, you want to make the potential for people to make money, but at the same time you don't want them to spend any money, you know, like it's a
How are
counterintuitive.
they going to win without skin in the game?
Exactly. So my opinion is that the killer application of like making it is the lowest variable of entry possible, free, with the maximized gain possible. And this is what we achieved with the Apes.Win. So how does that work? Apes.Win is a platform similar to Pump Fun, but it has a complete different dynamics. So in reality, I would say that it's gamify. It's gamification trading. So what happens is that you have 1 week seasons. People arrive, they can create a wallet. It's going to be a Telegram app with SDK connected to Sonic or web application. And you will be able to connect your wallet. We made it super easy to be able to bridge any assets there. And you will only need like $1 worth of gas to be able to do something like 1,000 transactions on Sonic. So it's more than enough. We made it super easy for you to be able to bridge and fund your wallet on Sonic. If you don't, and you connect your Twitter account, you will get some little bit of dust from us, and you will be able instantly to collect a crate. This crate opens up, and you have two assets. One asset is a coin, which is an in-game currency, and the second asset is a banana, which is a voting power, representing voting power. So the coin, right away when you open the crate, you will be able to trade if the season is already started. So we're talking about the platform has launched already and so on. You will already have a little bit of coin that you can use in a random amount. So no, it's never the same, but all verifiable on chain. You will be able to buy something or start trading on wagme.com, some of the pairs with coin. So basically meme coin against the coin everywhere, and start making your trades, your moves, and you will be able to use the version 2 of wagme.com leverage, which is a beautiful version that you will see in the next few days, because it releases with the instant stream of the chart and long, short with leverage up to infinite amount of leverage, basically without as long as there is liquidity, without the potential of liquidation, which is amazing. So you will be able to trade all this coin directly on chain, on that or traditionally. And the other thing is with the banana, you will be able to vote for the meme coin that you like of that season round. For 7 days, these coins compete. You have till the last 24 hours to get to vote, and then you lock your vote. If you voted one of the top two, you will receive a 25% airdrop of that coin, and then it goes into an LP with coin and they start trading. What is the interesting part? You say, oh yeah, but you're not earning any money, bro. Like, a coin is worthless. What are you
When
doing? Like, oh,
Ponzi.
banana, when Ponzi. Like, bananas, what do I do with bananas? That's food, is not money. I don't want food. Like, I want Ferrari, I want Lambo.
When
So
Lambo.
yeah, when Lambo calculator. And and honestly, like, a parenthesis, I didn't make the Lambo calculator. That was a community idea, by the way. Like, anyway, which is everybody attributes, like, that thing to me, which I wish actually I had the idea, but I didn't. Anyway, once you vote, you receive your airdrop, you trade. There is a point system for these coins while they're trading. One is, for example, you never need to drop the initial amount of coins for more than 24 hours. So the LP can't be dumped on for more than 24 hours. You need to stay at the minimum the coins that we add to the LP. Volumes, you need to have an average volume of a certain amount. You need to have at least a certain amount of active traders over the weeks constantly. So it creates a matrix. These metrics what allow you to earn after at the end of the month to be able to be paired with real liquidity. And this is the fucking interesting part, because you assess instead through a bonding curve, you assess of the interest of the coin over the course of the trading history. And as things are acquired, the liquidity can be allocated. Where does that liquidity come from? To kickstart the game, we are going to allocate ourselves $100,000 worth of Sonic. So imagine that. Like, that's already a good pot. Who is going to get it? You know? And secondly, all the fees of interacting, and as now we are talking about this, so it's starting to be public, we will publish a voting on wagmi.com platform to redirect all the smart contract money that the entire protocol makes, obviously through the swaps that are done for the coin pairs and the swaps that are done on all the other pairs and every interaction that wagmi.com has, to go into a pool for this specific reason. So you can imagine that without any big activity on Sonic so far, we have collected around $10,000 worth of liquidity. And imagine how much more activity this will bring in terms of trading volume and interactions with the smart contracts from our platform. So we estimated that we might be able to get in between $70,000 to $300,000 worth of airdrop to be able to pull liquidity into these tokens. And there is only 2 per month that are gonna get it. So you can imagine how fucking cool that is. And that's a fucking flywheel. And how does that connect with the GMI, WAGMI, and everything? Well, there is something, yeah, there is something very special about it, that the LPs that are generated with this liquidity go into something that we call the Ape Boost, that is a GMI boost that boosts the GMIers to be able to earn even more fees upon giving us and committing their liquidity to the protocol. So that's the fucking super flywheel that we are about to unleash.
Right. It's just like a constant reinvestment of what has WAGMI generated, what has the Sonic network given you, how can we distribute it to the community. At the same time, the community is basically PvPing to be that spot for the coin that gets, for lack of a better word, bonded.
Exactly. It's bonded. Actually, the liquidity is just left there forever because it goes into his own GMI.
So you are letting people play in the trenches for free.
Yep. The craziest trenches, because there is a guarantee.
Infinite upside.
Infinite upside, guarantee of exit, and crazy. Like, it's crazy. It's wild.
It can't be revved
And
because like it would be like a renounced contract, liquidity's locked. Like,
yes.
wow. Whole. We
Yeah.
are so
Now
bad.
you see.
Now I see. I feel like
You
it's
see.
that scene in The Hangover where all the math's in the back of their head and they're connecting the dots.
Yeah. And Anon will allow you to do a lot of actions into the game automated. So even cooler. So people will be able to use Anon on the. So there you go. Now you see how the discovery of Anon comes. You can use it for Apes.Win, but also you can use it for more things. How wagme.com owns the IP of the most interesting and degen exchange in the world. That's the flywheel, brother.
That's the flywheel.
That's it. That's it.
Oh my god. The trenches will never be the same. People are losing
No.
hundreds of thousands of dollars a day. You're giving them a free ticket, literally infinite upside in a play to earn game.
And also on a chain that has what, $300 million worth of airdrop. Like,
Because
it's
this will all
infinite.
be on chain activities, so there's even more upside
Yeah.
just by participating. Oh
Yes.
my god.
Yup.
This is the mic drop moment. This is the
They're
Daniel
interacting with
Sesta.
S. They're interacting with S, so they get the airdrop.
He has put on his Thanos Infinity Gauntlet. He's got all the stones. It's Batman back for a revenge arc.
Absolutely back.
Has this
We
been the
saw
master
back.
plan for a while? Have you had this idea in the back of
Yes.
your brain?
A year and a half.
Apes.Win. What's the timeline on like this? Because I know the Sonic
It's
airdrop is
ready.
about 5 months away.
It's ready. And honestly, I'm just waiting. Well, actually, I got the guarantee from the foundation that they will give us the protocol fees already. So the airdrop is going to be later on, but the fees to do this, they're coming already. So we are ready to launch. Like the reality is that this thing is launching in the next couple of weeks. The difference is I'm just waiting for us to get a little bit of traction, guys. Like I feel like I single-handedly started the S pump with this,
I agree. I
which is
think
not even my coin. Like imagine how many millions of users we can bring on this. It's crazy. That's the ultimate PvP. But it's the PvP of brands. Like what is a meme coin? Is a brand, right? People are not gonna waste their time if they don't believe into the brand. So these potential meme coins that are coming out of these trenches, basically, are gonna be valuable because they're gonna have a crazy amount of community from the beginning. It's the ultimate launchpad if you think about it.
especially because it's going to bring communities from other chains to Sonic, because it's like, oh, like we have a huge community on Sol, let's go dominate this Sonic meme coin launch, which is just going
Yeah,
to encourage other communities to join in to try and overthrow them. It's a flywheel on multiple aspects, both in terms of user engagement because of the incentives, but in terms of user growth because everyone's going to try and form larger and larger social groups to dominate that leaderboard.
absolutely, because there is always a pot, and the pot grows as engagement grows. Chad, that's the crazy thing. Like the more people PvP and compete, the more liquidity will be from the beginning, and only two come out every month. So they're gonna take the whole pot, which is incredible. And there is so much of like how much of that airdrop you're gonna get, how much of that coin you're gonna get, you're already trading it at the beginning.
Right. It's
Like
already
that's
EV
super.
positive. Even if you don't pick the lucky one
Yes.
that completes the month, you're still going to get Sonic airdrop.
Yes. That's the crazy thing. Even if you have been accumulating the wrong one, you still get the Sonic airdrop. And if you pick the right one, oh my god, bro.
Oh my god. You're getting ground floor entrance into something.
And additionally, like it's even fun because we have we showcase another product with all of this that is leveraged, that I think it has a huge potential to be a huge flywheel for wagme too, because the fees there generated are incredible. And as you teach people to use our products, it might bleed, into everything else because you're already there. So you're trading your coin pair because you believe that this Pepe Elon Musk kek coin is gonna be the fucking next banger. then you're trading that at the same time. On the other side, you're trading S, for example, and so on and so forth. The effort is low effort, huge gain, and this is what I want. And really, it's really cool. It also looks very cool. And what is also cool is that we have a system of crates in which it rewards people for being leaderboard winner of the day, of the week, etc. in trading volume, gains, P&L, losses, etc. In these crates, you get more coins for being able to earn more bananas. And additionally, for getting a guarantee on the airdrop on certain coins, you have a dice game. So you can bet your bananas to get more bananas on the dice game, so you can get more airdrop out of all of these. So which is very gamified, and we are thinking about already giving, for example, certain chances when you open as a leaderboard or not. Even from the beginning, you have a small chance to earn, for example, trading setups, gaming chairs, like keyboards, screens, merch, and things like that from wagme.com.
Wow. We have a lot of people in chat asking for a recap. So something I do in my streams is I pull up like an online paint editor and I draw pictures because I think it helps a lot with people's understanding. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna narrate out loud as I attempt to draw a picture to encapsulate the idea of Apes.Win. So Apes.Win is going to be a Telegram-based interface for users. It's going to be a play to earn game that is completely free. And the game itself is basically PvP trenches where people get to vote on the meme coin that they want to win that maybe represents their community, or they think it's funny, they think it's entertaining, etc. And then there's going to be one winner every week that gets some liquidity, and there's going to be one per month that gets bonded to WagMe. Is that correct?
Well, bonded to Sonic.
Oh, bonded to Sonic. I gotcha. But the benefit that this is on S is just by participating in this game, Apes.Win, you get an airdrop because it's all on chain activity. And that's going to be for the airdrop that happens in 5 months. But also, there's that revenue share mechanic that is going to contribute to the bonded liquidity for the one per
There you
month that
go.
gets bonded to Sonic. For this free to play game, there is going to be a dice rolling component
Dice
where
rolling for voting for the initial 25% of the airdrop of the weekly winners. Okay.
right. Okay. Wow. There we go. We got a little recap for chat.
Yeah.
Apes.Win, a Telegram based interface. It is a play to earn game that is free to participate. It is PvP trenches, kind of similar to Pumped Up Fun, where it exists in its own ecosystem. Users will be able to connect their Twitter to get voting power. There will be winners picked per week, but only one coin per month, with the strongest community will get bonded to Sonic. At the whole time, this is going to be EV positive because you will be qualifying for the Sonic airdrop. So it's impossible for users to lose because it's free to play and you'll get an airdrop. So it's EV positive no matter what.
There you go.
There we
It's
go.
the ultimate flywheel.
It's the
Ultimate
ultimate.
flywheel.
Oh my God. Dan the man. We are so back.
It's fun. Don't tell me that you don't want to play it. You want to
No,
play it too. I
I
want
want
to play it.
I
Like
want to
I
play
want to be
too.
there. Like fuck, it's gonna be so fun. Like and in all honesty, like I think it's gonna create a new generation of KOLs. You know, like
Yeah,
it's really gonna create his own atmosphere, his own thing. Like it's wonderful. Like
especially
I
because
love it.
KOLs can try and foster their community, be like, hey, like, we're going to ship this project together. Everyone vote for it. And it aligns the incentives of the KOL and the community, which in the world of crypto doesn't
Did
always
you see?
happen.
Did you see that we also basically how do you say sorry, I'm so excited when I say we solved the launch problem too.
How did you do that?
Yeah, because there is no sniping, nothing.
Right. Because it's predetermined.
It's
Everyone
only
knows.
about participation. Yeah.
Wow. No sniping.
Yeah.
Here's a
And
question.
even if you run bots, you're actually paying for that liquidity at the end, and you can't be sure because everybody can run bots volumes and stuff like that. So in the end, you're paying a little fee, right? So you're just paying for your own liquidity of what? For being dumped on. So at the end, we solved the fair launch of meme coins at the same time. And we
What?
are launching all of these tokens, and I talked with layer 0. All of this token has a layer 0 OFT, so they can go anywhere
So they'll
after.
immediately be multi-chain as soon as they're bonded to Sonic.
Yeah, if you want to trade them on Solana, you will be able to. Why not? They need to be. Like it's the perfect environment to kickstart everything, but it's also now you understand why the chain wanted to pay me, right?
Yes. Now it makes sense. The puzzle pieces are coming
Mm-hmm.
together. Here's a question. Referral schemes have been quite a popular way to onboard KOLs in their communities. Is there going to be a referral program integrated to help incentivize like
Can you help
communities
me do
moving
it?
together? Well,
If you
so
help me do it, let's do it.
yeah. So the reason I bring this up is because there's a project called Grass that I actually told you about via our private messages like
Ah, yeah,
a
yeah,
week or
yeah,
so ago.
yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah,
they had a very
I was busy.
interesting airdrop
Yeah.
mechanism where let's say I referred you, I would get 20% of your revenue in terms of the points generated. If you referred someone, I would get 10% of theirs, and it went to the fourth order. It went 20, 10, 5, 2. And
Yeah,
so like
basically Herbalife style.
yeah,
Like,
it's an
yeah,
upside down triangle.
yeah,
And
yeah, that's
so
fine.
that is a very powerful incentivization mechanism for the network effect, right? Because then you're tapping into the KOLs and the KOLs community, but not only that, but KOLs want to onboard other KOLs because everyone wants to be at the top of the pyramid.
Makes sense.
And so I think if we're
Like
talking
if
about like
you,
the network effect of onboarding communities together to get that cohesive group working towards the common goal of let's get this shit on fucking Sonic.
yeah, we have a lot. We have a shitloads of like items and things that we can do. For example, we could do referrals with crates, so you get more crates if you refer a person. Like we can work together, and also like anybody has some ideas. As I launched the documentation and everything out of it, I'm very open to just implement it because it can be implemented just as a backend thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there is no money involved, so there is no problem. Like you just mint these coins, and that's the cool thing about all of this is a super low entry barrier thing. Like the integration that we did is like you can use swapping, and you have $1 of Solana on Solana. You just click, it does the bridge, and you receive the $1 of Sonic that you need to start playing. That's it. And if you don't have, we just give you a little bit. Like it's not a big problem as long as you connect your Twitter account. And then you also participate in the leaderboards with your Twitter account, so you can push the community, you can do a lot of stuff. I think it makes a lot of sense to implement also a referral program. Why not? Why not? Like I really think that all the Sonic community will be playing here and more. Like we're gonna, and there is no low bowling or like crazy effects. That's why yesterday I was engaging a lot on like what do you want to fix in the trenches, because I also figured out that actually all the problems that I've seen in my comments are solved here. You know?
Right. Because the trenches are plagued by developers and communities not having the same incentives,
Yeah, but
right?
also you understand that I'm releasing a tool that allows anybody to fuck up the trenches. So I bring all the traffic to me. You understand that we are going at war, so I give a tool for everybody to just make sniping and everything so easy and for free, and doing all these fucking wild things that it doesn't make any sense anymore. Like just give everybody the tool to be able to rag everybody, and you see that the whole thing just falls apart. and
Right.
they come to
Mutually
the
assured
platform.
destruction.
Yeah, they just come to the platform when there is no way to take it down. Don't you agree? Like, it's really about the effort. Like, you're investing in the community, and you will be able to see even the mind share of these communities before they get the liquidity bonded, and you can wait for people to dump, and then these things are gonna run, like that's the beauty of all of this. Like, it's really an amazing launchpad platform
And so
and game.
you touched on it earlier, but you're kind of waiting for Sonic to gain some momentum in terms
Well,
of
I
price
think I
action,
just
market
started
share.
it. I think, uh,
Very true.
I think I wanted to just start. I'm the Sonic bull. If I need to carry the whole Sonic ecosystem by myself, I will do it. I own it to the first people that believed in me. So, yeah,
There we go. That was not what I expected, but that is a lot. That is like the very definition of Degen's roulette. Free to play,
yeah,
you get to hop in the casino and have a good time, and at the end of the day, it's value generative
yeah.
because you are making something out of you are making something out of nothing. Nothing having no barrier to entry. We'll give you the gas to get on the chain. We'll give you the bananas to participate. We'll give you the referral scheme code. You are generating value out of nothing.
Well, not out of nothing, because you know what is my motto. I think that the premium is people.
The premium is people.
Yeah. Like, you should value things with a premium if there is people. Like, people are more valuable than anything else. Like, because the collective always wins against the single powers.
Frog Nation.
Yeah. We back, baby.
We
We back.
back.
I waited, I cooked, I cooked, I cooked, I cooked, I cooked, I cooked. I cooked a very long stew.
A very long stew.
Like, but I wanted to make sure that the fucking meat is soft.
It's tender.
Like the ragu, the bolognese needs to be tender. It takes time to cook it nicely. Like, you know what I mean.
Yeah. How does it feel to get it off your chest? Because you've been sitting on this.
So,
You've been cooking the bolognese for a year and a half, you said.
dude, so long. Like, this summer, I literally had all of this app ready for ton, and I didn't release
Really?
it. Yeah. Connected with ton wallet, everything, and I didn't release it. I said it's gonna come a better time in which actually we are gonna have the complete ecosystem in play, and it's gonna be much better, because I didn't also want to port the entire WAGMI into the ton ecosystem, honestly.
Right.
And then I'm like, but I did it. Like, it was working. I was demoing it and everything, and just didn't explain specifically how it works, just to not get people to outbuild me or steal my idea. But yeah, this is it. I think this is gonna be very fun. Especially, it's gonna, like, let's be realistic. It's fun. That's what we want. Like, I wanna fucking trade with the knowing that maybe I make some money out of this, but also it's fun. You're on the computer anyway, doing something. Do it. Like, fucking do it. You're watching another chart. It's not gonna change your life. Don't you agree?
Right. It's the kind of thing that you can do daily, check in, see what's popping, throw some imaginary money around for an airdrop in the future. You could get absolutely paid if you're picking the right one. Like, there is no downside to participating.
And also imagine how many communities of degens exist out there, and that's what you were actually pointing out very well. There is communities that could participate here because they don't have risk of reputation. If they don't qualify, they don't qualify. If they qualify, they get the liquidity. They made it. Anyway, like, everybody even can dump, Like,
Yeah.
honesty, they just won. Like, that's it. Like, that's the coolest part of it. Like, and nobody's losing. Like, the chains get the activity it wants, a lot of eyes on it. Like, it's paying very little for it. People is paying a shitload of gas for it, right? They get the airdrop to millions of users. What do you want more? Like, this is my biggest gift I can give to any chain, and I gave it for free to Sonic and Phantom because I respected the community that was there first of all, to everybody that supported me, and this is my basically my gift to them. And obviously, I have gain on it because I want my ecosystem to thrive. So, win-win.
Win, win, win. It is aligned to the incentives of the network, the devs, the community, the KOLs. That's something really rare in crypto, especially in DeFi. Everyone having aligned incentives.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're entering a new era, as I told you, the era of abstraction. And as we enter the era of abstraction, the barriers need to be lowered, but also the game needs to be stepped up. Like, why someone needs to get token like for like I think this is the ultimate farming. Like, this is farming. Like, it's the ultimate piece, and it reconnects with everything. And that's why I wanted to talk about Wonderland also, and conclude with this, that I want to give you the tools and a chance.
It connects
Then it's up
everything.
to you. Yeah, it does. Indeed.
Is there anything else you want to tack on here in the HeyAnon,
I
WAGMI,
can
Apes.Win
I can spend
ecosystem?
other 3 hours, you know me, not talking about that. But I think with this, with my statement, you give them the tools and you give them a chance. I think it really encapsulates the ethos that is coming back of the Frog Nation, even more powerful than ever. And there is no tricks here. There is only chance.
Exactly.
And work, hard work. Like, the difference now is that people work for their bag. Here they work for their liquidity bonded. Like, it's fantastic. Yeah.
It's a whole new definition
Obviously.
of working for your bags.
Yeah, and also think about this, like, there is another component that maybe was not very clear when I explained GMI, but all of these LPs produce a crazy amount of fees, and those fees goes to the GMI pools, that is the committed liquidity, and can be redirected to any chain. So it allows us also to go and dominate and take care of the liquidity because of the high APRs and advantages that you get to be able to raise the liquidity on any chain to go to compete with any exchange because of the dynamic that we have. So expect me to go to C to just to take over other places with WAGMI. This is my goal here.
The network
All of it.
effect.
Yeah, all of it. All of it. Yeah.
There it is. That's the mic drop moment, chat. The third piece of the flywheel that's been hinted on Twitter, that has been whispered around the trenches. It's out in the open.
Yeah. It's been a pleasure to share this with you. And I think we have a lot to work on. But in all honesty, I'm so ready. I was really waiting for the moment of showing to everybody that I got it still. I have a few good ideas still. So
He's
I'm
with it.
ready to.
All right,
Yeah.
I'll wrap everything up and then we'll get you going, okay?
Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, there it is, the mic drop moment for what is coming in the WAGMI, Anon, and Apes.Win ecosystem. Please, can we get some frog emojis in the chat? Can we get some W's in the chat for Dan? Oh, we got a nice little thumbs up there. Please show some support for the $1 billion dev. This has been really eye-opening. This has been insightful. It's not what I thought it is. It is significantly better. And I think you stand a very real chance at revolutionizing not only the DeFi game, like we've been talking about, but the infrastructure of the trenches and how we understand the meme coin game. Any final thoughts before you hop off here?
No, I think we're pretty good. I'm looking forward to continue to build and looking forward to see the impact of DeFi, and I can't wait to launch Apes.Win. I hope that these start a little bit of a pressure on Sonic, and that we start seeing a little bit more upside. So I'm ready to drop. Hmm?
Ready to go. Perfect. Thank you so much for coming. I truly
Thank you,
appreciate your
everyone.
time.
It was a pleasure to have this discussion with you, and thank you very much for all you guys support. And see you soon.
See you
See you on
soon.
Twitter.
Take
Ciao.
care, my friend.